Good morning and welcome to Energy, Salmon, Agriculture and Community Revisited. I'm Tracy Andrus, and I have the privilege of serving as president and chairman of the Andrus Center for Public Policy. Our center was established in 1992 to carry on the legacy work of my father, former four-term Idaho governor and Secretary of the Interior, Cecil Andrus. Throughout Dad's long public service career, he was guided by a simple belief. First, you must make a living. Then you must make a living that is worthwhile. Finding a workable nexus between making a living and protecting the richness of the environment we treasure is exactly what's at stake today. 2 years ago, the Andrus Center convened the first gathering of this conference to look at the decades-old challenge of saving our dwindling and threatened salmon runs. It's not a new issue. Dad first talked about it over 30 years ago, describing the decimation of our spawning salmon as one of the greatest frustrations in politics. In 1993, he filed the first of many lawsuits challenging the operations of the federal dams on the Columbia and Snake Rivers. But despite those lawsuits and the more than $17 billion that has been spent since that time, our salmon runs continue to teeter on the edge of extinction. Now, if this was an easy problem with a simple solution, we would have solved it years ago. Clearly, it is not. Some might argue that the first part of Dad's guiding principle, the need to make a living, has gotten all the political capital to the detriment of the second, having a living that's worthwhile. Others might argue that economic necessities must come first in the equation. We're here today because Dad believed, and the center that bears his name continues to believe, in the power of collaborative voices and answers that often reside somewhere in the middle. Many meetings among policymakers have taken place since our gathering 2 years ago. New collaborative endeavors have been initiated, and a few bold new ideas have been proposed. Today is about discussing all of that and hopefully widening the list of those things we can agree on, being open to new models that address continuing concerns, and ultimately narrowing in on potential solutions for those challenges that remain. In the end, words like collaboration, compromise, and cooperation have long been hallmarks of solution building. We can also add a few new phrases from our gathering 2 years ago. Idaho Governor Brad Little's breaching the status quo, and Idaho Congressman Mike Simpson's what if. The Andrus Center fervently hopes that all those words and phrases can guide today's discussions, and out of today and the many more conversations that will follow, we might just craft a bold new remedy to an issue that we've talked about for decades. These iconic fish are fighting for survival. It's time, past time, that we find a solution. And now, before I hand you over to Rocky Barker to get our day started, I'd like to thank those people without whom a gathering like this would never happen. First, I'd like to thank the Andrus Center's Environment and Public Lands Committee, ably chaired by Rick Johnson, for the incredible amount of work its members have done putting together today, reaching out to the varied stakeholder groups represented here, and building the discussion panels you'll hear from. I'd also like to recognize and thank the Andrus Center's Executive Director, Danielle Trujillo. Danielle is the engine that makes everything we do run. Another thank you goes to Boise State University's School of Public Service and the university production team for literally bringing us onto your virtual screens. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors for today: American Rivers, Idaho Conservation League, the Nature Conservancy, Perkins Coie, Perpetua Resources, Resources Legacy Fund, and Trout Unlimited. Without their generosity, we would not be able to bring you today's program at such a nominal fee. So, on with the morning's program. And to expertly manage the discussions we're about to have, I'm going to hand you over to Rocky Barker, an award-winning environmental journalist who has spent decades chronicling the Northwest's conflicted relationship between salmon and energy. He's also the author of 3 acclaimed books on the Endangered Species Act, fly fishing, and Western wildfire. And he's a member of our Andrus Center Board of Governors. Rocky, let's get this day started.